Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You're the blackest one in this room.
I think so. Hearts and minds. Hearts and minds this.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on America's soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby.
Hello, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I am the American Anchor Baby. This is my show. Welcome again. Pleasure to have you here. Got a show for you today. A couple things I want to get into. Yeah, just a few things I want to get into. Some stuff in the news. We hitting the news today. So that, the news, and your calls, 888-775-3773. And follow me. Follow me and subscribe. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter. And streaming now on Rumble. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. So, and I have it pulled up here, so I'll show you guys love if you guys are at Rumble. Right on. Very cool. So, I already got a super chat here for somebody. And that's nice of you, DH. Thank you for the support. Says, damn autocorrect. China could be our biggest threat in regards to foreign policy and not domestic policy. It is not the USA's job to stop communism, but we do have a job to stop it from spreading. Well, thanks, DH. Why? I'm not saying we shouldn't. Just want to know why. Why it's our job to stop. Why it's America's job to stop it from spreading, specifically. So, bit of a loosey, bit of a, relaxed show today. We'll do some fun stuff, and I got some news about stuff I didn't know about. Maybe you already knew this. I'm late on this. There's a fight going on, a couple different fights actually in different legislative houses of different states. Looks like some people are taking the lead of those Tennessee 3. What is it? The Tennessee 3? Justin Pearson or whatever, those two, the apocalyptic-looking guy, as well as that woman and the other guy. And there's a fight with 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 in Alabama. He will not allow the promotion of military members. How dare he threaten our national security? All of a sudden, national security and the military are sacred. All of a sudden. So we'll get into that as well. What else do I want to do here before we get started? Well, that's everything. So, yeah, make sure to follow me. Look, check this out. I was just having a conversation with Bill about this. Bill, the engineer. He was here with me yesterday. Thank you for that. And we're talking about this ad here. You've heard about AI plenty by now. It's the talk of the town, sort of. It is emerging technology, and I'm on top of it a little bit. At least I'll show you a couple things you may not know, just to be aware. Right? It's good to be aware of what's coming, what's happening. It's being adopted at an alarming rate. AI alarmism. Am I an AI alarmist? Well, I saw this video here, and I was a little alarmed. I was a little alarmed. It's been fun and games for me so far. Oh, it's just AI. Look, ChatGPT. Let me chat with the bot. We're training our demise. I'm training our demise. Whatever. But then I saw this video, and I'm like, uh-oh, I'm training our demise. It's this AI generated pizza ad, and it's a little silly. It's silly. It's clearly AI generated, but it's a AI generated advertisement for pizza. And we'll play the clip here. But just be aware that everything you see and hear is AI generated.
Are you ready for best pizza of life? Bring friends down to Pepperoni Hug Spot. Our chefs make pizza with heart and special touch. Cheese, pepperoni, vegetable, and more secret things. Need delivery? Pizzas come fast. Knock knock, who's there? Pizza magic. Eat Pepperoni Hug Spot pizza. Your tummy say thank you. Your mouth say, Pepperoni Hug Spot. It's like family, but with more cheese.
Okay, what's up with the... And what you saw is clearly AI generated. It's all messy, artifacted looking people, very weird looking stuff. The AI can't generate people, at least not yet, not in video, and so it's dumb, it's silly, but it's like a child made it, right? Pepperoni, yum yum. At some points, it was a lot more coherent than others. Other times, it sounded like a child was writing the ad, but the voice, the script, the images, moving images you saw were generated by a computer. And it's silly. You know, it's not that developed yet, right? It's not developed. It hasn't grown up yet, okay? The AI is still a baby. We're raising the AI like a little baby, like a little child. And it's learning, and it's growing and learning. But are we good parents, though? That's the problem, I guess. The parents, we're just going to raise more single-parent AI kids, okay? It's going to be bad. So I'm an AI alarmist now. But, and liberals are using that term they're calling any caution AI alarmism, which is already, should be a red flag for you. I mean, they using terms like AI alarmism, then already. That should tell you something. And people do get fooled. I mean, I know a lot of us, we're a lot smarter, right? We're a lot smarter. We see the tricks. We see the weird fingers that the AI generates. We see the little mistakes. We see through it, right? But people do get fooled. I mean, a whole bunch of people got fooled by that fake AI generated LeBron picture where he's in like a skirt. Where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. He's like in a pink skirt or whatever. This never happened. But people were fooled. I mean, there's tweets that are still up that I saw of commenters on the internet. They haven't deleted their tweets decrying his pink skirt wearing, which never happened. So it happens. I mean, but yeah, so information, get ready. I mean, information is already a little weird with what you look up. It's been weird for a while. I mean, it's been weird in the sense that we're used to Googling stuff and all that, but once any of us here who started getting red pilled and we started getting into the news and politics more and seeing just the liberal bias that Google search results give you, that was kind of like our first tastes. And then the censorship and all that. So information, it's going to be we trust it so much already. Our own minds, we trust information, we trust our own minds, we trust our own analytical abilities and our planning skills. We trust a lot of that, and we've outsourced that, if I were to widen the scope here for more than a couple generations, that trust of information and planning and our abilities, we've been outsourcing it more and more, if you want to see it that way, to tech, to experts, Google searches. So we've two sides of the coin, bringing our own undoing by the want to do more, the want to be, and the want for convenience. So, anyways, that's what's going on in that world. But you just if you're not aware, because I'm in this space and kind of paying attention. I mean, we got what? Like written papers by academics or college students, etc., being written by AI, and examiners are having a hard time figuring out which one's which. Even the latest AI detection tech is unable to keep up. Turnitin is this online service software where students turn in all of their assignments online. And they have a built-in AI detection, which is not quite up to par. So the arms race continues. The arms race of our minds. It's a war for your mind. The arms race, shout out to Alex Jones. And yeah, that's all that. So we're raising bad kids. We just keep making the same mistake. We're just raising bad kids. Okay. I saw this too. Tell me what you think. What would you do in this situation? Video that went viral on Twitter a little bit. Well, maybe viral in Black Twitter. You know that Twitter's racially segregated, like prison. Did you know that? They have and there's some intermingling, but the gangs, the cliques are the racial lines. They are soft racial lines on the Twitter platform, where echo chambers and spaces of people, they see each other's tweets, and so they call it Black Twitter. And so I guess this kind of went viral in Black Twitter. And what got me is the comments, and I'll get into that. I guess I'll play the clip first. And you'll see this guy in this neighborhood being stopped by what looks like to be the neighbors. And I don't know too much of the story beyond the video, so we're just going to comment on that. But these people, the community gets together, and they stop this guy. They look through his bag. Like, what are you doing here? And it's dividing the audience who's watching this video. The division continues here.
Your friend ran.
Your friend ran, she's saying.
No, we're trying to figure out. They're sketchy as fuck.
I try to believe that.
Where you live? No, you weren't. You were over there. I say Hope Street. What's your address?
What's your address, boy?
Why'd your friend run, though? Why'd your friend run, though?
I don't even know.
Why'd your friend run, though?
I don't know.
Likely story.
Hey, look, I'm on everybody's side. I ain't trying to do nothing.
Then go home.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to go up. We just take this way.
Nah, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I swear to God.
No, you didn't. And look, rifling through his bag. No care for the law and his civil rights.
I know. We keep in your bag.
What? You're looking through my private property, ma'am. You can't do that. What do you guys say in the chat? What are you guys thinking? What would you do in this situation, huh? What would you do? And I saw the comments. That's what got me. That's why I'm commenting on this. The comments were surprisingly yet unsurprisingly against the people there, because it seems like the comments didn't know either the full story. But right away it was, look at these racists. There was people commenting saying, racist, look at these white people. Essentially saying, look at these white people protecting their community. Yeah. What would you do? What would you do? I'd ask, what are you doing? Maybe if I didn't do anything, isn't this one of these situations? Or am I here giving up my rights like a total simp? If I didn't do anything, okay, yeah, ma'am. Or people in the community. No, nothing in my bag. I'll be on my way. Of course, we're all inferring. We're all watching this video inferring what happened. We don't know what happened. But it seems like that's kind of like essentially the fight. upside down world. I want to protect my area, my community. I want to, make my area the way we want it. I say I, but like I live there, but isn't that an American principle? Localism, like you are allowed to live the way you want to live locally. I remember my Canadian friend, he'd always tell me this in Canada. He's kind of based. He's a Canadian guy. He'd be like, you know what, America is awesome. He had this kind of like faraway view of it. America's awesome because you have state laws, and every state can be kind of like their own thing. And it's blurred lines today, but isn't that true? I think that's true. Just messing around here. Some fun videos this morning. Now noon. But anyways, let's get to like a topic here. A little bit more serious. What's going on in the news? And I didn't know about this. I just found out about this. It seems like it's been going on for a while, yet I just heard about it. And you may know Senator 𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔. Senator 𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒍𝒔, out of Tommy 𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒍𝒔, out of serving as a senator from Alabama. Okay? And there's been an ongoing fight in the Senate with the military, okay? Where �𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 won't allow, he basically is not allowing the promotion of military officials, Pentagon officials, 184 of them. And the senators do have a power through oversight, through policy making as well, to block or shape military promotions. Okay? And so here it is. Senator Tommy 𒏏𝒂𝒍𝒔 of Alabama blocked 184 military promotions Tuesday in the latest chapter of his protest against the Pentagon's new abortion policy. And so what's going on here is he's not happy that Lloyd Austin, really, ultimately, and that's the first black Secretary of Defense, you might know what I'm talking about, total ideologue into that whatever you want to call this new religion. You hear that a lot, new religion. I think it's sometimes an apt description, but this new religion of being pro-trans, racism is real, all that. In the military, this guy's a top guy, and what Lloyd Austin basically did, he put forth a policy that gives paid leave and really facilitates their members to get abortions should they want it. And so the drama unfolded in the Senate as Senator Elizabeth Warren moved a request to allow the promotions, and �𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 blocked the action. �𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 said, "I warned Secretary Austin that if he did this and changed this, I would put a hold on his highest level nominees." Secretary Austin went through with the policy anyway. And so �𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 is keeping his word, what he said he would do. But what's crazy is he's getting like pushback, or at least some pushback from fellow Republicans, and weak agreements from people like Lindsey Graham. And we saw Lindsey Graham recently pretty much just go all in the Ukraine war stuff. We need to just give them all the money. We need to be there till the end, etc. Like, all in. All in with all that stuff. And so Republicans are worried that �𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 is injecting politics in the areas of national defense, and that he may be threatening our country's national security. Our country faces significant challenges. We have a significant adversary that is threatening our country's national security and well-being. They call out China, our greatest enemy. And they're saying what �𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 is doing is going to hamper the promotion of non-political military is what they call it. Non-political military members essential for national security. I mean, it's just right away you got to wonder, non-political military, it seems like another little package word, like saying bipartisan or whatever, when it's everything but that. I mean, the pro-trans stuff, bringing them back. Tucker, right? They went after, the Pentagon was basically bragging, okay? Basically bragging that Tucker's gone and he shouldn't be on TV every night, bad-mouthing the military, how dare he. The first black Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, very political, Joint Chief of Staff, Mark Milley, that guy who didn't want to take a picture with the Bible and Trump and ended up saying, I'm going to read this book about white supremacy. He made a big deal about that. Remember that? That's a Joint Chief of Staff, top guy in the military. And it just goes downwards. Did you know that a third of U.S. veterans, something crazy, I have it here, that nearly a third of American male to female transsexuals are veterans. It's from a Revolver. That was despite them being officially banned from serving at the time this was studied. They're also more likely to serve, like a lot more. Way more likely to serve here from Revolver. Transgender people are significantly more likely to serve in the U.S. military than the general U.S. population. I mean, that's just weird. What do you even make of that? Like a third. What do they make up the country? Like less than 1%? Okay, and so non-political military, they call them that. It's the same Lloyd Austin that the one Tuberville wants to lift the abortion policy. And why should we care about like military readiness like that? It's like, were the maternity flight suits military readiness? Well, what about just women in the military? Was that all military readiness? And they go off and they get just decried. Right now, the attacks are against Trump, for example. They're saying he's going after government workers. And this is another thing I didn't hear about. I didn't know this about Trump, but apparently he's vowed retribution for political enemies. That's what NBC News or MSNBC here, this article, they're like really playing it up, decrying Trump here for vowing retribution for his political enemies. I say, yeah. I say, get him. But what they're, the meat of that story is Trump is going to make it easier to fire entrenched government of workers. And they're saying he's going after the workers. He's calling it Schedule F, apparently. At the top of Trump's list is reinstituting an executive order known as Schedule F. I don't know if they're trying to make it sound scary and authoritative, but I kind of like it. Enact Schedule F. Freedom. F for freedom. Okay, so Tuberville, he's doing this fight, and I don't know his motivations. I don't know if he's a rhino. Besides, I don't know if his motivations is anything besides, like, for real, trying to get rid of abortion or fight it. I don't even know if, I forget the state of abortion in Alabama. Abortion laws. Doing some on-the-air studying. Abortion is completely banned in Alabama because of a law that went into effect June 24th, 2022. Okay. Might have been helped along by Tuberville. Tuberville started in 21. So anyways, I don't know if his motivations are besides that, maybe garnering attention from his base. I don't know. I'm not going to say no because I don't know otherwise. But but he's getting authoritative. Is that based? Is that some strong moves on the whole abortion fight? Seems like everything's a fight. Sides to pick and everything. Because that kind of remains a question for me. Something I don't know yet. And I'm not this guy with who you should look to answer this question. The question of what should we do with, for example, trans parents that consent, parents and children who want to do the trans stuff, the trans surgeries. And if they consent and the parent wants to and the kid wants to, like, what do we do about that? Do we do anything? Do we pick sides? Should we not pick sides? And I don't know. If I come to a conclusion, I would tell you guys. I'm just here with the questions, okay? So on all that, I don't know if we should be fighting in this way. But this is what's going on. This is what's happening. Maybe you can at least be informed, okay? Well, speaking about that, the trans and all that, should we stop the families, the parents from doing that? I mean, they want to. Now, at what point is their right? Is it that our bodies are not our own? It's not your body. It's not your choice. Or is it only until after they become adults? Because this whole fight continues on in different areas of the country. One such is in Montana. And Montana has been having a similar fight. Politics, culture, etc., but it's about transgender in this case. And it's similar to the whole Justin Jones, or what is his name, Pearson in Tennessee, when those three went into the legislative house, whatever, and staged a protest, basically, for what I saw, about gun control, and they demanded stuff, had demands. They walked in with their demands. After that, trans shooting, could we call it that? That Hale person over there in Nashville or somewhere in Tennessee. But anyways, it's similar in the sense because they are trying to censor, at least the ones in Montana, than the story I'm talking about here. In Montana, they're trying to, or they have censored, in fact, 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎. Okay? 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎. If I have any pics, they're not censored like hate does. So apologies for making you see this individual who clearly has problems. This Daniel Radcliffe looking person with long hair. I don't have a picture for you. It's probably better. You're probably better off. You are probably better off. So 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 is in the Montana's only transgender representative. Okay. And he was censored. Okay, he was silenced. And they're making this guy apologize for saying that. The big fight is basically this 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 person got up and said, hey, this bill that you guys are trying to put forth, which would ban gender-affirming care, so-called gender-affirming care for minors, that you guys are going to have blood on your hands. And he made a big stink about it, okay? Made a big stink, raised his hand in solidarity with some protesters that had entered the sacred space of the Montana legislature. Is that fair to say? And so that was an event, which caused the Republicans to silence and then eventually censor this 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 for the rest of this legislative cycle, the 68th legislative cycle of the Montana House or whatever. Okay, so that's what's going on there. And so they're saying let her speak, saying her about a he. This is a violation of free speech, etc. And I'm seeing this and I'm like, maybe kind of based. But then I looked into it. We'll get into that. But I was like, okay, maybe kind of based. Like, first of all, you can't do your little insurrection. And no, we're not going to stop this bill that would ban mutilating children. Mutilation of children. And you've heard that too. Mutilation of children it's easy to hear these things repeated and get jaded or desensitized by it. Like, oh, I've heard Republicans say that before, mutilation of children. But, it remains true. There was that story of this, they call it a vaginoplasty, of this young boy. And these doctors basically killed him. Some of you may have heard of that story, but freaky, horrible, like violent stuff. Very, very human, experimenting, Frankenstein stuff. And they killed this kid. I don't know if kid, maybe he wasn't a kid, but that happened. And so, yeah, maybe we just say no to this. Maybe we just say no. No, you're not allowed to talk. And so the Montana Freedom Caucus, which is a group of the Republicans in the Montana House, they put out like a thing saying, yeah, we totally agree with the decision to discipline Representative Zephyr. This Zephyr person is still allowed to vote on stuff. He's just not allowed to talk anymore. But they're saying in this little statement they put out, Montana Freedom Caucus, they say, the Montana Freedom Caucus was the first to call for and act on the censure of Representative Zephyr. Our caucus then called for condemnation of the actions of the rioters who either engaged in or threatened political violence in the House gallery. Small group of people will not be allowed to disrupt, And I'm trying to skip ahead to the part here where the Montana Freedom Caucus says, it's a shame that Representative chose instead. Oh, wait, hold on. It's unfortunate that Representative Zephyr had neither the maturity nor the humility to take responsibility for his actions and simply apologize. Whoa, based out of control. They did some misgendering. I'm being silly right now because it's like a low bar. Doesn't it feel like that? It feels like a low bar. But considering Republicans and all that today, it's a little bit, it's a win. We take him where we can get him. But the thing about this whole thing, the two things about this whole thing, just to end it here, and then I'll get to your calls. Thank you for calling and holding 888-775-3773. The things that I've concluded or I thought about this whole thing here. One was this. The reasoning, and the language the Republicans are using in their censorship of this person. They're saying that this person, for saying that there will be blood on, because this Zephyr said, if you pass this bill, I'm paraphrasing, you pass this bill, there will be blood on your hands. So the Republicans are saying, until you apologize for that comment, we won't let you back. And of course, they add to it by saying it wasn't just the comment, it's because the Zephyr person promoted the protest going on and raised the fist and, basically justified it. We're not going to justify you doing your insurrection. They used that language. They called it an insurrection. Flipping it on you. You're the insurrectionist now. But the Republicans go on and use this language and say, there's no space for hate here. Paraphrasing because I lost my place in this article. But they say there's no space for your hate-filled rhetoric. Yeah, right here. Hate-filled testimony has no place on the House floor. Republican Representative Caleb Hinkle said, okay, no place for hate. No place for hate. How do we differentiate ourselves from the mindset and thinking of the Democrats or trans or non-Christians or whatever in this whole fight that we're having, and maybe we shouldn't have. Maybe it's a folly to even have it. How do we differentiate ourselves? They're saying hate-filled rhetoric. And it seems like, in my opinion here, maybe there's something I'm totally missing. I'm kind of a simplistic and maybe I haven't looked into stuff very well. Maybe I don't understand how the legislature works or the ins and outs of this. But it seems to me quite flimsy on the Republican side. And in fact, how can you go against it? Because am I misunderstanding kind of like simple points of representative government? It's like, in a sense, this person represents it represents a small part of the country and maybe a small part of Montana. There are people like this person who have the same issues, or they've identified their issues to be this trans stuff. Okay? They think it's that. But in a sense, this Zephyr person would represent them. And barring any breaking of the house rules, speaking out of turn, bringing in protesters and all that would be grounds for censorship despite what political leaning you are. Barring all that, it's like this person, I guess, you know what I'm trying to say here? Like this would be how our government is supposed to work if I'm understanding correct. But I don't know if I want those people represented. Is that crazy? Or am I like spitting on American ideals here? Because I don't know if I want that insanity represented. I don't know if it should be, if it's like a loving, or I don't know if it's a loving good thing to do. And then I think about like voting, for example. Early American voting, it was white men who had land, who had skin in the game, so it wasn't just everybody gets their voice thing. Am I being too simple about this? I don't know if they should be represented. So this whole like, oh, it's just we're not allowing hateful testimony. How about you're crazy. You need God. Let me point you somewhere. Let me point you to the way inside to get over what you're going through, because you are my brother, or fellow citizen, or I think I'm a Christian, so I should do the nice thing. At least. You know what I'm saying here? Anybody? Can I get it? Anyways. Ramble. Let me get to Patrick out of Denmark. Patrick, thanks for calling, man. Go ahead.
Hi there, Nick. Thanks for taking my call.
For sure.
Now, I tried to get Hake onto this idea, but never mind about it. But I'm really thinking about the biblical question from Jesse.
Yes.
And do you think that why we value our fear? Could it be that it's a healthy fear of God that we can't really understand? Because you can say that fearing God is hating evil in a sense that we human beings just can't fathom.
Okay. So you're saying possibly our fear that we value is because we're fearing God and maybe not knowing it, essentially?
Something. We tend to, there's something stirring in us when we face, I don't want to say that, that I hate what's going on or that I'm angry about it. I understand that these things must take place, whatever is happening around me, you know what I mean? But it's that, well, do I fear it? I have to have a healthy fear of God, before I say something, because if I just fear for what I'm saying, I think God will probably fight my battles, and that is equals to hating evil, right? Because He will sort it out, perhaps.
Okay. I wanted to ask you real quick.
You don't have to reply too much.
I would like to reply, actually. In fact, I really like this. I have a few things to say. Real quick, though, you said these things must happen, and I'm understanding you abstractly, but on the fear.
Yes.
when you feel fear, is that one of the things that should happen?
So I think there's a difference between feeling fear and knowing that you are. I mean, it's really difficult. It's really difficult because you are not feeling the fear, but it's like you are knowing that you should be very wary. Tread carefully, right?
Okay.
So be fearful of your next move. I mean,
I think I
be
understand.
conscious of it.
Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying, because the thing is, the reason I asked you that is because when I think about the question and I think about fear, I'm not thinking about fear of God. I'm thinking about that fear that comes over you when you have a thought, when you have a worry, when you get a sudden, I don't know, negative realization, something. But it's really ultimately the mind. Right? But the reason I asked you that is because anytime that's happened to me, it doesn't quite feel like it's supposed to be happening. It doesn't feel like life, like I'm growing, like it's, you know what I mean? It feels like I'm dying. It doesn't feel like it's supposed to be happening.
I think I hear what you're saying.
So I think of, when I think of the question, I think of that in those terms, that kind of fear. And I'm still kind of smoking on it. Why do I value my fear? It's a very interesting question, honestly. Because fear of God, when I think of fear of God, I don't think of what you're describing. I think of more of like what Hake was saying, because if you think about it, fear of God is faith. It's like if you see something, I have an example about this actually. Like when you see something about, let's say you're dating, and you see something about your relationship and about yourself and about something, okay? And you get that first pang of like, I need to talk about this. I need to tell her I'm changed, or I need to tell her that things are going to be different, or I need to tell her, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you stop yourself and you say, you know what? I'm going to say nothing. And you don't explain, you don't say anything, and you allow that truth to be real. That's showing faith. That's showing fear of God. It's showing fear because it's like how you said, you're stopping yourself before you do the next action. And there's and other things I could rant on, I guess. But your question, man, I'm not quite sure. Why do I value my fear? It seems real, I guess. That's I'm still smoking on it.
We stop ourselves in our tracks because we have so many times made a wrong step, right? Where we just look back and we we regret whatever we did, and we can see that, oh, this was not the will of God, and if you're religious or not. But even so, you might find later that it all made up for something, that you learned a valuable lesson for something. I mean, this is going a little bit off track, but you gotta recognize that we just don't see the full picture. So it's a healthy kind of fear for God, that a fear for ourselves in a way that our evil nature will carry out something that will get us off track. No, I gotta answer this better tomorrow on the show if I
for sure,
if
man.
I can.
Open Line Friday.
But,
give it a shot.
Do you mind if I put my question to you, Nick?
Yeah.
My biblical question. So my biblical question is, why do you hide from yourself? No, why do you hide yourself?
Yeah, why do you hide? Okay, why do you hide yourself? I heard you post. I was a little busy getting my stuff, but I did my stuff ready. But I did hear you pose it to James, and I caught a little wind of it. It's a interesting question. Why do I hide myself? Because you have a judgment of yourself, when in reality all you are is just you, and just you is fine. Because I have, or I'll make it personal, I have a judgment of myself. If you could just let it be whatever you are, you would grow and be amazing.
All right, I'll take that answer to the bank.
Right on, Patrick.
Yes. Thanks for the talk.
No, thank you. Call me again. Take care. Okay. All right. All right. Amazing to steal a iconic tagline. What are y'all saying in chat? I do have like another topic. Another little topic, because there's evil going on, okay? There's evil happening, okay? There's evil happening. We got groomers and pedophiles, right? We got groomers. What's up with that cheese? What's up with that pizza ad? You know the pizza ad I played at the beginning? What's up with the ad? What's up with the AI calling the ad Pizza Hug Spot or whatever? What was it called? Pizza Hug? I just realized they call it the AI generated pizza ad from earlier. They call it like Pizza Hug Spot, Cheese Pizza Hug Spot. What's going on here, AI? What the heck is going on here? They call it Pizza Hug something. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Cheese pizzas. This is the A. What the heck are you doing, AI? Not funny. Not funny. Not meant to be joked about. No. Nope. Okay, we got this thing on pedos, basically. And I apologize for that intense language at noon on Thursday, 12:46 on a Thursday, maybe later for some of you guys. But it's happening. Sort of. Okay, maybe it's a little bit of maybe I'm doing some pedo alarmism. Maybe I'm being an alarmist, okay? But Elon Musk, he banned a Twitter account recently. And this Twitter account made some waves. Hake is saying PDF in the chat. Probably smarter if I just call them PDFs. Oh, I just burped. Just burped into the mic, y'all. Not very profesh. So there's this talk about this account that Elon Musk banned recently. And this account made some waves, some noise, because basically, what? It was a like pro pedophilia like tweet. And it's this person named Potluck or whatever. Now this account's banned. And it says, Happy Alice Day to those who celebrate. What? I should have Googled that before I started this. Alice Day? What the heck is Alice Day? But this person on Twitter says, Happy Alice Day to those who celebrate. I figured why not use today to unveil the YAP, Youth Attracted Person, in parentheses, pride flag I designed almost a year ago. I wanted to stray from the oft-used horizontal bars motif, but only a little. I wanted to retain some familiarity. Some familiarity with the whole what? Familiarity with what? With the whole gender, weird sex movement. The whole letter, the alphabet thing, LGBT, blah, blah, blah. It's to retain familiarity with what? With that whole thing, okay? Meaning we're part of it. Meaning us YAPs, not me, this person here. These young attracted persons are just, and you've heard this before, nothing new I'm saying. But it seems to be picking up steam. The latest in the protected class of these weird sex people. Okay? Youth attracted person. It's our pride flag. Pride, y'all. And this person, Potluck, says attraction is not abuse. And abuse is not love. Love is love. Defy hate. Dismantle systemic oppression. Stand in solidarity against bigotry. But never forget that love is love and you deserve love, especially from yourself. This is what pride means to me. Attraction, this is essentially, they put a little spaces in between. They put a couple of extra steps in between. But if attraction is not abuse and abuse is not love, I mean, they're saying attraction is love, okay? Attraction is love is what this person's saying. Those feelings are love. Can anyone relate? I know you're not maybe you're not a YAP. But if you're simping with feelings over a girl, you might just be a YAP. Maybe that's too far. I'm kind of playing around here. But back to the news, kind of get a little more serious here. It's like, you remember MAPS, minor attracted persons? Remember, now it's like YAP. And this got attention, and Elon Musk banned it. Being a little authoritative there, Elon. Yeah, you know what? This is free speech, but not for you. And I may not be the person to totally defend that position, like intellectually, but it sure feels right. Doesn't it? Yeah, I don't want you represented. Good thing I'm not a political leader. But how can this godless prevailing culture deny that logic, that attraction is love? The underpinning philosophy of the oppressed group thing? How can they deny that logic? What is in the way for that? It doesn't seem like there's anything in the way. Because the underpinning logic of philosophy, it just fits. How long until the first YAP in Congress? Huh? Any bets? Taking bets. No, I'm not taking bets. Taking bets for when's the first YAP Congress person? Jeez, I'm even using that language. So I've been watching this little show recently. I guess you could call it a show. It's like a web show. It's a reality web series masterminded by Sam Hyde, okay? Sam Hyde, you may know Sam Hyde, $1 Million Extreme. He used to have a very successful show on Adult Swim with very different kind of underpinning comedy and philosophy. It was more right-leaning. You might be able to say that. It wasn't like all in with the prevailing culture and woke and et cetera, whatever you want to call it. $1 Million Extreme on Adult Swim was, in my opinion, opposition to that. It got canceled by execs at the top. There was talk that it was because they didn't like the $1 Million Extreme people for being kind of Trumpy or whatever. And Sam Hyde's, and so Sam Hyde is an online personality. He's been banned in a lot of places, has had to put his content in alternative platforms, has been part of this whole thing. And I watched some of his stuff. He's put out a reality web series recently called Fish Tank Live, okay? And it's where 8 contestants live in a fully monitored smart house, okay, with cameras, live streamed 24/7. Viewers, it's for like 6 weeks, and viewers sit there and, well, you can watch, it's 24/7, so I don't know if you want to sit there and watch, maybe just watch highlights. But viewers who are watching live are basically able to prank the contestants. They can determine what happens to them via donations, and they control the action to a certain degree. There's a cash prize at the end for the last person standing. And I've been watching it recently, and it's been kind of funny. It's been pretty cool. It's been interesting. Okay, Sam Hyde is a funny guy. They do interesting content, okay? But in relation to what I've been talking about here, there was this one character on the show, and I don't know exactly how they got the contestants, but it was relatively open, where they went for, I remember one of the producers in the come up to the show said, we got a whole bunch of freaks. He described them as that. So I don't know if they were specifically looking for weirdos, because there was many on the show today that don't seem like total weirdos. So I can't tell you if it was like open or if it was like they targeted weirdos to get on the show. But lo and behold, it was like they're living their lives in the show, and out of nowhere, Sam Hyde comes in and calls out one of the contestants, Simmons, for some really weird stuff that he found about him, that Sam Hyde found out about Simmons, about his practices outside of the show, and a book, apparently, that he wrote. And he kicked him off. And this Simmons guy basically wrote a book on how to essentially have a sexual romantic relationship with minor camp kids as a camp counselor, okay? That's essentially what we're understanding from the situation. And And, you know, people got their issues, okay? I'm not here like, oh, my God, look at this, look at that. People got their issues, okay? But I'm making a kind of a grander point here. And I guess I'll show you this clip because maybe you're not understanding what fish tank even is. Here's like a little promo. Maybe you can get a better taste of what's going on here.
One of my role models is Jesus and probably Andrew Tate.
The fish tank is a fully monitored smart house.
I'm basically doing an ad for this guy.
You control the action.
If someone lied to me during the show, I would definitely talk to them.
8 contestants.
I'm fully vaccinated
This guy.
with 2 boosters. Left
That's
profile.
Simmons.
6 weeks.
We're definitely gonna have to team up and then kick everyone out. I like cover my ears and start screaming and have like an autism meltdown.
No privacy.
I've been in over like 100 fights. I could for real like scrap with anybody.
No phone.
The longest I've been without my phone, probably like a week or 2.
We heard what you said. We know when you go to the bathroom. And one winner walks away with $10,000. This is Fish Tank.
Okay, you guys get it. So that was Simmons, the guy who was like, I'm double vaccinated, boosted. And in the course of the show, we see him wearing these like bear shirts, and he wears like a dress. Was very happy to wear a dress at one point. And his profile is all like animate out and like furry. Like, what is up with that? What's up with that? Like, furry anime people online are Antifa groomers. I know I'm painting with a broad stroke. I know it's not fair. I know it's quite mean. But I don't know. It's called noticing patterns, I guess. But I'm kind of like being silly here about it. It's like a becoming normal in my opinion. Or at least there is an effort for it. There is like an effort. Weird stuff, but it's easy to look at it, the PDFs or whatever as like, you know, scum, dredge of society. But just like the trans, just like the homosexuals, just like all of us, they need help. You know what I mean? They need like real love. There's some stuff about a whistleblower and migrant children and all that, and how pedophiles are basically going to become a protected class in Minnesota. They're putting out a bill that's expanding the. You know, this is somewhat important. I was going to skip this. They're pretty much done on this, but just real quick, this Minnesota state legislature, they're doing this law. They're putting forth this bill that's going to make sexual orientation, what they're calling created sexual orientation, as a protected class, okay? Meaning any discrimination of any kind based upon sexual orientation is illegal in the state. So no freedom of association. You got to do this. You got to do that. Crazy stuff. But in this, they removed a specific provision which made it so that pedophilia could not be one of these created sexual classes. One of the created sexual orientations protected in the bill. They specifically removed that provision. Minnesota legislature, okay, enough on that. Gross. Very unchristian things happening. Very unchristian things happening. And meanwhile, the ADL, I saw this too, the ADL, Anti-Defamation League, they did this thing on... Where do I got it here? They're basically investigating Christian nationalism. Okay? And this is my last thing here. I've said my piece. Thank you for watching. But real quick, just because it fits, and I kind of remembered, and I'm feeling newsy today. ADL, Anti-Defamation League, okay? They're going after, they met at a summit, a religious summit. Where are you at? And they went there to discuss basically Christian nationalism and the dangers it poses to U.S. democracy. Like, yeah, let's get an investigation on them. How about that? No, let's investigate. Let's investigate you guys. I'm doing like a tit for tat thing, basically. I know what you are, but what am I? Well, all right, y'all. It's been fun. I'm the American Anchor Baby. This has been my show. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow and subscribe. We're going to do a Nick stream tomorrow. Going to fly the plane. Don't know if I'm going to compete with the Fallen State. I'm thinking I won't because I started 12 and so does the Fallen State. So we might just do Nick stream tomorrow. Otherwise, enjoy the... Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold on here. Hold on real quick. Right quick. Because I believe I have some super chats. And that's very kind of 𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 NTP to support the show. Says, intro is amazing. Thank you so much, 𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒐𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔. Your continued support. You guys make it possible. I have fun doing it. I'm the American Anchor Baby. This has been my show. Have a nice rest of your day. And catch me tomorrow. Take care.